Next will be Mr. Jason Puckett, Airport Manager.
Good morning. Real quickly, the airport had its annual FDOT inspection on April 28th, and we had very positive feedback from that. Many of the items that were considered deficiencies in past years were mitigated before this inspection, as was reflected on the report, so I'm very happy about that. The only main item of note was the runway paint markings on 1836 was deficient, but we all knew that going in because the FDOT has withheld funding from that runway. So that was considered a deficiency, but we still got the airport license and we're in good shape. So I want to publicly thank Crystal Air and the road department for their assistance getting us ready for that inspection. They helped us out tremendously. We met with the AEC last night, and there are a couple quick items I want to bring to your attention. First is the Florida Statute 333. In a nutshell, this statute requires the county to revise current airport zoning regulations by July 1st or implement those if none are already there. I have spoken with County Attorney Mr. Schuler, and he is aware of the requirement, and I think he's working to mitigate that or is aware of that requirement. The AAC just wanted to make you guys aware of it as well. Secondly, the AAC has been notified of Mr. Randy Randolph and Mr. Al Mirabella of their intention to be removed from the AAC. We have had issues in the past getting a quorum, but if it is the pleasure of you to replace these two, the AAC has two names that they would like for you to consider, and that's Mr. Gordon Hunter and Mr. John Bone. And that's all I would have for you this morning.
Any questions of Mr. Puckett here this morning from the board members?
Mr. Chairman, I don't have a question. I would like to say something.
Yes, sir.
I do know Mr. Gordon. I
Mhm.
think he would do a fine job.
Okay.
The other gentleman, I don't know who he is, but
Okay.
while we're there, I will at least mention that.
Okay.
What y'all doing on the other thing about where y'all at on the hiring of the other people?
The FBO,
Yeah.
we presented an RFQ last night to the AAC board, and we're going to move forward with that. I should have that finalized at the next BOCC meeting, hopefully the 23rd, and that will go out for public advertisement, shortly thereafter. November 1st is when Crystal Air's lease is up, so we're trying to have a timeline to get, qualified applicants in here and get them in place before November 1.
Just one statement.
Mm-hmm.
Jason, have those people be careful with cars
Yes, ma'am.
out there.
Yes, ma'am.
That guy like the broadsided me.
Yes, ma'am. Michael let me know about that, and what
Yeah.
it was, that's our courtesy car. And when pilots fly in, they use that car to come down here for lunch, and I did let the guys know at the front desk to let them know that it's a county employee.
Thank God I saw what was happening.
Sure.
And saw that, but you have to remember that still county liability.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes,
So
ma'am.
tell them to be a little bit more careful with it.
Yes, ma'am.
On the reappointment of the members, I think the board will wait to a future meeting to take
Okay.
action on that,
Yes, sir.
so they can get in touch with two of those individuals and
Yes,
let
sir.
them know that what is coming and if they think they can start making these meetings, or do we need to make new appointments.
I understand.
And I'll take care of that, and the board will take action at a future meeting on that issue.
Yes, sir. I'll let the AC know.
Any further comments from Mr. Puckett? Thank you for coming
Yes,
in
sir.
this morning.
Thank y'all.
Next will be a public hearing, and we got a little while on that. Ms. Lisa Bretz, Area Agency.
Oh,
Is she here?
Yeah, yeah, she's coming from Tallahassee this morning. So
She's not here yet?
not yet.
Okay. Ms. Marcia Johnson, Clerk of Court.
I don't have a report this morning, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Congratulations on your,
Yeah.
Thank you.
Michael, you want to do Alan's report on the
Sure enough.
restore coordinator?
Item number one, as we all know, the governor actually did sign the Triumph bill, so the first item in Alan's report, that needs to be updated. And I guess the money will be, the $300 million will be transferred. Next item, the Triumph bill increases the Triumph board by 2 members. Current Triumph Chairman Benz said that until the 2 new members are appointed, the Triumph board would not be taking any decisions other than administrative. There is no specific timeline for when the 2 members will be appointed, but it certainly can't happen until the governor signs the bill, which he did. Alan previously told the board that the 2 new members would come from Bay, Gulf, Franklin, or Wakulla, but the bill states that the 2 new members will come from either Walton, Gulf, Franklin, or Wakulla. The Triumph board must still hire staff, which that in itself would take some time. The application process and the role of the Board of County Commissioners will be a major agenda item at future meetings. Chairman Benz said that once a project proposal is accepted by Triumph, the project does not have to go back to a Board of County Commissioners. Projects can be submitted directly to Triumph, or they can be submitted to Triumph and the appropriate Board of County Commissioners. The role of the Board, County Commissioner recommendation is not clear at this time. The Triumph bill requires that a minimum of 5% of the 300 million be spent in each county. So at a minimum, Franklin County has $15 million reserved for economic development projects in the county.
Okay, Mike, real quick, you're stating that the two new members will come from, or information is, Walton, Gulf, Franklin, and Waco. So that's 4 of the 8 counties. Where are the 5 members from now? Do you currently
I
know
don't
where
have the
they're
makeup,
from?
but I could get it.
I mean, there's 8 counties and there's 7 board members. There ought to be equal representation of each county, with one county not having a
Yeah.
representative, but
I know.
they already have 5 board members, but you're listing 4 counties that evidently doesn't have representation.
Yeah.
So that means one county's got more than one
Multiple
representative on
members
the board.
represent- Yeah, sure enough, Commissioners.
What you have to do to
I know
get on
that's
that
not
board?
under your control and all, but I'm just putting that out there for the public. that-
It concerns me.
Yeah, Alan and I were talking about that earlier too, that it's kind of crowded for one side of the panhandle.
That's how they get things done. I mean, what you have to do to get on that board?
You're appointed, I guess, got to be recommended, and then
It has to be somebody from the private sector and they have,
they're looking for business owners.
yeah, business owners. Can't be nobody that's retired, you know, they have to be active in the community and also business owners.
But tell that governor, we got some Republicans down here.
Okay, proceed, Mr. Malone. I know you're just bringing us information.
Item number 2 in the Restore Report, an update on Hurricane Hermine. The State Department of Emergency Management says that FEMA is still reviewing the 3.5 million PW, project worksheet, for repairs to Alligator Drive. The Governor's Office is still reviewing the waiver request. No repairs on Alligator Drive can be made until FEMA review is complete and the funds are obligated, and the county obtains a permit from FDEP as the work is seaward of the CCCL. County staff, including the road department, is aware the road is at great risk of further damage if a storm comes through, but the cost of repairs require that FEMA funds must be available. Y'all didn't hear yourself, everybody just sighed. It is, I mean, there's nothing we can do. You guys understand what we're up against. Item number 3, remind the board that until the FEMA PW for repairs to Alligator Drive is approved, the $4,560 a month cost for the traffic signals at Alligator Drive is coming out of the Ballpoint Trust Fund. Traffic signals have been in place since March 15 and have so far cost the trust fund $10,000.
You know, that's a lot of money.
It is.
With a
Yes,
long,
it is.
And we got, with no bottom end, I don't see no light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes, sir. Another conversation.
We gonna have to,
That really concerns me. I've discussed this with Alan. I mean, I know he says, well, what am I supposed to do? But that's a lot of money.
Chairman.
Yes.
It really concerns me too, and, you know, even if we go in there, which we are, and pave that 1,100 feet, 1,000 feet that we're gonna pave, you still got the issue of the road not being
Wide
wide
enough,
enough.
that's right.
And until we get approved by FEMA, we can't do nothing, because if we do that, then we assume the responsibility. We
Yeah.
can't do that. So, I don't know what else to do.
I mean, fingers crossed, we might be able to recap some of this money from FEMA for the traffic lights, but there's
But we
no
haven't
promise
found
there.
that, but we haven't found that out yet.
No, you have not.
So, you know, I mean, don't know
I'm
what
gonna
to
make a
do.
motion that the government, them representatives, let's send a letter to them, asking them to, ask FEMA to move a little fast, be a nurse.
We have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Lockton, to write a legislative delegation to try to help us get FEMA to move forward. Do I have a second?
I'll second that, but
Probably won't hear.
I know. I second it.
Commissioner Sanders, we have a motion on the floor by Commissioner Locke, second by Commissioner Sanders. Any further discussion? All those in favor? All opposed? Motion carries.
And his final item, remind the board and public that the deadline for submitting Restore application is July 15th. Alan will be at the July 18th board meeting to provide the board with an update of Restore applications. The first step after the deadline is closed will be to turn the applications over to Dewberry to make sure the applications are complete and eligible for Restore funding. The next step will be for the RAC committee to review and rank the applications and then turn the rankings over to this board.
Thank you, Mike.
Sir.
Uh,
Well, to start my report, go as far as we can, you have to take.
Board recess, 5 minutes. Board of County Commissioners now back in session. Please take a seat. Hello? Hello, board is now in session. Ms. Lisa Britt, will you come forward, please? Franklin County Library.
No, senior citizen.
Senior citizen, I'm sorry.
Although being a librarian might be.
Elder cares.
I got so much stuff going, people.
Elder cares.
Real quick before you talk, some people have requested agendas. They're printing out some more and gonna put them out front so everybody can get an agenda. Please proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner, Chairman and Commissioners. I wanted to do first things first. Back in January, our Board of Directors held its annual meeting, and we presented an award for your service and commitment to senior services. If I might approach, I'd like to present you with this award. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. For the public record, Area Agency on Aging of North Florida presented to Franklin County Board of County Commissioners
He didn't do that.
in recognition and appreciation of your financial support and active involvement in coordinating services for seniors, 2016. Thank you very much.
And we thank you for your continued support of senior services. I believe the last report I gave you was that we do have a contractor for both lead agency, which provides your home-based services through community care for the elderly, Alzheimer's disease initiative, and home care for the elderly. We also have a contractor, the same contractor for your meal programs, your home-delivered meals and congregate meals. That contractor is Liberty County Senior Citizens Association. And according to statutes, they are the lead agency, which means they have responsibility for coordinating services within your community. In reviewing the clients that have been served, we have not seen a significant increase in clients being served. However, if you'll recall, last year we had clients that were not being served under the Alzheimer's Disease Initiative program. We did have 3 that were enrolled. Currently, only 1 is active. We have 3 additional clients on the waiting list who we will be assessing for eligibility and determination of services. We did have to go through each and every client file that previous contractors had on the clients and found that there were many individuals that are being overserved or inappropriately being served, primarily through our meals program. So those care plans were adjusted. We currently have 24 active clients in your home-delivered meal client program throughout the county. I did also review where we are serving clients, and the only community that we currently do not have any active clients in is Alligator Point. My biggest concern for moving forward for the community and our current contractor is that they need to have a substantial outreach plan. We are currently working with them to identify target communities that we need to go to them and let them know what's available to them. We need to see a growth in our waiting list. We've been very fortunate that the Florida legislature has approved and signed by the governor yesterday an increase in community care for the elderly and Alzheimer's disease initiative funding. Unfortunately, without waiting lists, we don't have clients to serve. And not just waiting lists, but we need to find those who are most frail and most in need of those services. We do have community partners who have been willing to help us with those outreach efforts, primarily the Elder Care Community Council, a volunteer organization here in East Point, Apalachicola, There needs to be coordination, however, between that organization and our lead agency in order to get that plan off the ground. ECCC has been very helpful in taking around information about the Elder Helpline, which is how individuals will access services, as well as providing information about what those services entail and how to help people apply for Medicaid assistance. The other thing that is severely lacking that would help your dollars go even further is there is no fundraising plan for our community programs. The provider is solely relying on the money that you are allocating as a county, and we will be working with them as well to determine what their fundraising plans are and who they'll be working with for those initiatives.
Real quickly on the Alzheimer's, and I think it behooves the general public and people that are family members of the individuals that need these services to help them reach out to you to get these people lined up. 'Cause I know there's more than 6 people in Franklin County that has issues,
Absolutely.
but when you have issues, you're not able to reach out yourself.
Right.
So I'm inclined to call upon the family members of people that need the help to actually get in touch with you. Could you give us your phone number?
Absolutely. It's a toll-free number, 1-800-963-5337.
Okay, and that, maybe we can get the press to put that in an article, as they write an article about the meeting here today, to get the information out to the loved ones that can help reach out for these people and try to get them into your program, because I'd like to see that program progress and provide the services that these people so greatly need.
I agree. And it's unfortunate. We have many caregivers who maybe feel guilty for reaching out because they need assistance, but that's exactly why these programs were designed, is to help relieve them so they can take care of themselves, they can take care of their loved one without receiving respite for themselves to take care of their own doctor appointments. They are going to decline just as rapidly, if not quicker, than the person who's in need of the supervision. So we do ask that people set the pride aside and look at the overall family situation that we're trying to help.
And also the help of an individual.
Yes, sir.
Because if you, as a caregiver, and I've been one before myself, if you don't take care of yourself, it's hard to take care of someone else.
Absolutely.
And after a while, it does wear on you, so you need the extra time to regain your faculties so that you're better able to provide the care that people need. So
Yeah.
they do need to reach out to you for that.
We do want to point out the Alzheimer's Project is providing a support group in Apalachicola. I think they're once or twice a month, but we are also working with them to try to plan for respite, community respite, day respite in targeted areas of the community. We'll have to go through the targeting plan and identify where those potential clients are, but hopefully next year we'll be able to implement a day respite program at least once a month. The location yet to be determined. It's generally been held at a church in other communities, but this will provide an opportunity for individuals who are still able to be active and get out of the house to come to a center where they can engage in music therapy or art therapy, things that will engage their mind and body, not just have them be home and have somebody come and say, hey, how you doing today, but we'll actually engage them in activity. So that'll be a nice added benefit as well. I did want to indicate, in addition to your funding going to the Liberty County Senior Citizens Association, we have also assigned $6,000 to the Carabel location for your Franklin County Senior Center. They did provide a plan of evidencing what services they're providing, and we were able to go ahead and allocate that much this year simply because the plan did not come forth prior to March, April of this year.
I think that was another issue. We had some people from the senior citizens, Carabel Senior Citizens was here at our last meeting, and we're glad to see that you were able to work with them. And making sure that our dollars that we are allocating are being used properly and efficiently to provide the services that the seniors in Franklin County need.
And I don't know, there's one other issue. Did want to acknowledge that we have moved our meal site from Holy Family Center to the Old Armory. And we thank you for your support in that. We just did not think that it was efficient use of county money to pay $1,400 a month for use of that building, specifically when we can't identify the number of seniors that are being served there. So we are working, again, with Liberty County to try to plan outreach to recruit individuals who are willing to come to a congregate meal site, and hopefully that's another program we'll be able to institute in Apalachicola next year.
Thank y'all for doing that.
Any comments from the board? Ms. Lisa? Do you have anything further for the board, Ms. Lisa?
No, just my continued thank you for working with us and helping to coordinate services. We appreciate you.
And we appreciate you coming in this morning.
Again, yes.
Hey, Mike, you want to take care of this? We got a public hearing we're supposed to be at right now. So there's a public hearing for freight logistics zone study.
Yes. As y'all remember, Alan brought this up a couple meetings ago, and apparently he brought it up too early. So I had to put it back on the agenda and discuss it again. And your old buddy, Mr. Warren Yeager, is out there in the audience, and he will be glad to answer any questions you all might have about this here today. But all I'm going to do is read the exact same thing Alan did so that it's part of the record that we did. Board action to approve the freight logistics zone in Franklin County and the associated report. The FLZ is a 5-mile wide corridor along Apalachicola Northern Railway from its southern terminus in Port St. Joe to a point in Gaston County near Interstate 10. At board direction, Allen attended the FLZ Summit in Liberty County last month. The summit reviewed the FLZ report, and he has asked each county to approve the report and the FLZ in its county. The approval of the FLZ will allow the FLZ partners to seek funds for improvements in the FLZ. In the case of Franklin County, we would be able to seek funds to extend the rail spur to the airport, or perhaps seek additional funds for improvements at the airport. In the case of Gulf County, which sought the FLZ initially, it will allow Gulf County to seek Triumph funds to assist in the expansion of the Gulf County port. As the board might be aware, Gulf County is still short the funds it needs to make the port expansion it desires. The FLZ is a concept approved by FDOT that makes it eligible for funding under certain programs. Liberty County does not have much at this time it needs, but Gaston County will be using the FLZ status to try and build a connection between the rail line and I-10. And after you ask for a public hearing, then I'll be asking for board action to approve it again. Again, as far as I know, I spoke to Alan, he said nothing has changed from when he presented it a month ago. Unless funding has changed, Warren, Gulf County, you guys found money somewhere buried or something? No? I guess not, so.
Well,
he's-
and right here, Mr. Chairman, right here, I see underneath Franklin County's a lot of money from the state this year that for rail development and grants for the Apalachicola Northern Railroad improvements is $6 million that we got approved for Franklin County. My only thing is, and I want to hear public comment, but my only thing is, like I brought up at the last meeting, when the railroad was running before, you didn't have the areas that were populated, that's populated now, and that concerns me.
I see what you're saying, so will it
I
cause
just got
problems
some
with neighbors?
Yeah.
The noise?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's my only thing. And I'm going to defer to the chairman because I know that's his district, but I'm concerned with that. And that's what I wanted answers on going into this public hearing.
You know, when it comes to the railroad has been there for many years. And, you know, if it comes to bringing jobs to the county, if we can utilize that railroad system to bring jobs and economic development in Franklin County, I think it's all good. I think everybody that has moved adjacent to the railroad line knows the railroad line is there. It has been inactive for a number of years, but I think the proposal is to try to bring it back up and not only just creating jobs with the railroad, but creating jobs, indirect jobs as it relates to the railroad. So I think it's a good thing, and it's a pleasure. Do we need a vote on this, Michael? You're saying we already approved it one time.
Need a vote?
Yes.
Yeah,
but need public
unfortunately, we need a
comment
vote again.
first. But yes, if he's conducting a public hearing and he's asking for action, you need to
Yes,
take
what I
public
thought.
comment and
Yes, sir.
pleasure of the board.
So it's kind
Yeah.
of,
I mean, I just wanted my concerns from the last meeting addressed.
Yes,
And
yes.
Commissioner Parrish said that he doesn't think that anybody has any problems with it, so.
I need one. I just want to find out, we going along with this, but I want to know if something come up, we want, beside that, will it stop us from getting it? I mean, will this interfere with,
No, and-
will this interfere with, like if we come up with another project, and we done helping on this, and we done went along with this one, can we do both projects? I need to know that.
Absolutely. I believe it is correct. The railroad really doesn't serve Appalachia, but, you know, we've worked with Gulf County before on different things and trying to, you know, there could be jobs obtained from them having a port over there and needing products assembled, move them in, move them out. The railroad is just another line of transportation. We don't have a 4-lane highway here, so it's the next best thing. Aside from our airport and flying products in and out, we also have the railroad spur that we were looking at putting into that Apalachicola Airport. And it could be that we do some assembling of products and different things and moving those out of the airport via the transportation on the railroad. You know, it's just something we're gonna have to work towards and move forward as we move forward, you know, working together and working forward to try to bring economic development to both of us. As it relates to Triumph funds and different things, we have some funding available now. We just need to find somebody that can come in and bring us some jobs, and we have the funding for the infrastructure. And this is just another way of bringing products in and bringing products out.
Yeah.
So I think it behooves us to move forward and, you know, we have to put one foot in front of the other. There's no guarantees on anything, but having that ability could potentially bring jobs to the area.
Yeah, I ain't got no problem about doing this, but I still need to know clearly if we want, just say we want a project on the west end of the county, east end of the county, and we done signed up for this out of these funds. The $6 million, I don't know how much money it is or whatever it's gonna take or how much. But, and it costs us X amount of dollars on the other end. Can we do both of these projects? That's what I'm trying to find out.
Yeah, I guess it would depend if
I mean,
the project in
if
the
we-
east
If we lock
end,
in
the
on,
hypothetical project in the east end would, if you're looking for that to be from the same pot of money, I guess is what you're asking.
yeah, I don't wanna,
You don't want to commit the money to one thing and you can't use it for anything else, is that?
I don't wanna just lock in and we can't do nothing else.
I don't see that happening, Commissioner, but, I mean,
I don't either.